Hey guys, Rick here from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and following up with our other videos, we're just going to talk about some pros and cons of bars today and just do a little bit further expansion on our first video around some of the advantages and disadvantages. So we've got an arrangement of bars here. We've actually got a couple of big ones here, 5 kilo, 100 ounce, 1 kilo, 10 ounce, 1 ounce bar. Now, as we said in the first video, the biggest advantage with bars is you're going to get the most bang for your buck, and that's obviously most true as you move up in sizes. So the 5 kilo is going to give you the most bang for your buck, followed by the 100 kilo, 10 ounce and 1 ounce. Now, again, just harken back to that. If you haven't watched it, probably go and check that one out first to sort of give you some of the basics. But in that video, we do talk about the exit strategy, and that's really true, I find, for bars. The big advantage is that when you come time to sell, you can sell it back to a bullion dealer at spot, and having paid the lowest premium possible, you're going to get the most money back for what you've invested. Now, that's true for most of these. Now, as you get into like a 5 kilo, and obviously they do bigger bars than this, but not something that we typically come across, but in a 5 kilo and even sometimes in a 100 ounce, bullion dealers, even like ourselves, will start to discount below spot for the bigger bars, and even the ones that don't pay spot, you'll find that their pricing under spot declines as you go up in bar size as well. So to me, the sweet spot's somewhere between the kilo and the 100 ounce. A bit of personal preference. I find the kilo is where you get the big premium drop, and you don't have, because obviously it's about 3 kilos in a 100 ounce bar. So the difference in premium between a 100 ounce and a kilo, to me, I sort of find that the loss of the divisibility factor, the fact that you have to sell 3 kilos because you can't obviously chop this bar up, the premium drop isn't that extreme, that I would probably recommend steering towards a kilo. With that said, as you move down, you've obviously got 10 ounce bars, which are about a third of a kilo as well. Obviously it's 32 ounces in a kilo, but so a 10 ounce bar, you do see a bit of a high premium, but it doesn't jump like extremely high. So you do still get, you'll likely see a little bit more premium back on your 10 ounce bars too. It's size that probably hits more of the market, because obviously a kilo getting up over $1,500, whereas a 10 ounce might be around $500. So it's often easier to find a seller when it does come time to sell for a 10 ounce or lower. So for me, I really like the 10 ounce bars personally. I think they hit a size where you can get a lower premium per ounce without losing all of your buyback premium if you were to sell in the secondary market. Obviously that's not relevant. If you're selling back to a dealer, you're going to get a spot either way, whether it's a kilo or 10 ounce. But for me, the 10 ounce sort of really hit a sweet spot, because you can trade a smaller amount. It's about a third of the size of a kilo, and you also are likely to get back some of that premium. They're probably a little bit easier to sell, in my opinion. You might have had different experiences, but it sort of lands in more people's budget. So it's easier to move a 10 ounce on than it is to move on a kilo, in my mind. Now, the disadvantages of bars is obviously once you go into like these smaller sizes, like the 1 ounce we've got here, the premiums, and I've never fully understood this, to be honest, but the premiums of these, although they aren't a sovereign minted bar, they sort of start to move closer to a coin. So to me, when you start looking at buying 1 ounce bars, I would be more inclined to either buy rounds for the lower premium, or buy coins for the recognisability and the secondary market value. So as I said, it's all very dependent on you, your plan for your stack, like your exit strategy. I think I made mention in the first video, I think it is good to get some kilos, and whether that's a few of these or a 100 ounce bar, to sort of get like a decent amount of weight and at a low premium. I do really love the 10-ounce bars, so I think you wouldn't go wrong by doing the same and getting, say, 10 10-ounce bars as opposed to getting 3 kilos. I think you would be pretty happy with that either way. You will lose a little bit of premium if your exit strategy is to sell back to a bullion dealer. I like 1 ounce bars. I think a lot of them are quite cool. The designs, they're just a bit different to a coin. I find them enjoyable. Some people I know also share that sentiment and only collect 1 ounce bars. But I think that's more of a scratching your own itch. It's more something for you to enjoy. I don't think with bars that is the best option. I think there's a lot of cons in the value that you're going to pay versus what you're going to get back. And I think if you wanted the divisibility, I would probably lean towards rounds if you're looking for the cheap divisibility, or coins, because you're going to get that premium growth if you wanted to sell on the secondary market. So yeah, to sort of summarize, you know, by all means, if you're looking to stack some really big weight, some of these bigger bars will do fine. Just keeping in mind that you lose that divisibility and probably some of your resale value if you're getting into really big bars. Even with bullion dealers, the resale value is going to come down. And if you're selling secondary, they're going to be a lot harder to move on. Kilos, great bar size, really popular obviously. But if that's not in your budget, then I would probably second to go to the 10-ounce bars. There are a few other sizes. Scottsdale's recently done some 15-ounce ones that we'll be getting in. There's 5-ounce bars as well, but I think these sort of cover off on, and those bars just are typically just going to fall in the sizes. So like if you've got a 5-ounce bar, it's probably going to be slightly higher premium than a 10, and the advantages will fall somewhere between the 1 and the 10. But for me personally, I'd recommend the kilos or the 10-ounce. I think they probably hit most people's needs, desires for what they want to do with their stack. Yeah, and there's not too many disadvantages with that. And there are some really cool 10-ounce bars out there, by the way. Kilos are a bit more, obviously in the 10-ounce bars you get minted bars and things like that. They're a lot nicer aesthetically than some of the cast bars. But yeah, the kilos, typically it's more cast. So each their own. It's a bit of personal preference, but from a financial standpoint, again, not financial advice, but I would highly recommend finding how much you want of your stack in bars, and I would probably allocate that, unless you've got a very particular requirement for a big bar or you really like the small bars. I would probably find I would be allocating most of your bar portion of your stack to these 1 kilo and 10-ounce bars. That's about it for us. I hope that sort of covers off on a few things, maybe answers a few questions. If you've got any other questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. We do try our best to respond to all the comments. Again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, or if you are keen on buying any of these products, head over to perthbullion.com.au and you can purchase any of these on there. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. We will get out another video for the rounds, and we'll do a similar thing there and hopefully give you guys some more information. Thanks so much.